All right, remember at the beginning of the year, we talked about why did the Lions get a week 5 bye? We were upset about it. We didn't like it. And then the injuries started piling up. And then we started talking about, well, maybe this is actually at a pretty good time, right? And guess what? It ends up being at a perfect time. And as I'm recording this on Wednesday at 6:30, it should release in just about a half hour to an hour. The Lions are getting some seriously good injury news. So I'm going to talk to you about both the Lions and the Cowboys. But here's the question I want to ask you at the top of this. And then we're going to talk about it a little bit more at the end of it. How and what is your confidence level? Give me a comment on a scale of 1 to 10. What is your confidence level that the Detroit Lions go and beat the Dallas Cowboys? I want to know how confident you are in this. I have this weird sneaky, it's not a 9, it's not a 10, but I have this weird sneaky suspicion that we're going to be doing all right. Cowboys are coming off a tough battle against the Steelers, where even though the Cowboys were beat up, they still found a way to win, and it looks like they're getting healthier. But the Lions are going to be rested, and they're out for revenge. We had a couple of revenge games that went the opposite way in the first 2 games of the season, where the Rams and the Bucs were coming in, teams that were hunting for us. And we've talked about the difference with this Detroit Lions team. We've gone from being the hunter to the hunted. And this is one of at least 2 games this year where we get to be the hunter. We're not the hunted. We are going to be hunting the Dallas Cowboys because of all the crap that happened. Hey, you know what I'm talking about, right? I'm reporting eligible. And I'm telling you, with all that went on, with the house of horrors that it's been there, getting that monkey off our back would be great. You know where else was kind of a house of horrors for us? Arizona. We really struggled going into the desert and getting a victory. We took care of business when our offense wasn't even playing well. So now that the offense is playing good, and I'm going to give you a reason why I think the offense will be able to continue to do that here later in the video, we're good to go. So let's get on this. Pride of Detroit did a great job of putting all this information in one spot. All right. Non-football injury list. All right. The IR, we know these players. All right. Broderick Martin is eligible to return. Kaminsky, Marcus Davenport, Derek Barnes, Emmanuel Mosley, Ife Melifonwu, they're all gone. They're not going to play. But what's important to note is that Christian Mahogany has begun practicing. All right, he's being evaluated for a potential evaluation to the active roster, and the Lions are just 2 days into his 21-day evaluation window. So he gets 3 weeks, and he was able to start practicing at a good enough time where he's like, all right, I'm going to get a couple practices in, was able to get healthy over the bye week. I think that's good. Hopefully he can get caught up in that time. All right. Yes, Derek Barnes, it looks like he's going to be gone for the season, and that's not good news, but everything else is. Check this out. Who didn't practice? In other words, who is not healthy enough to practice? No one. Other than these guys right here. All right, Broderick Martin, John Kaminsky, Marcus Davenport, Derek Barnes, Emmanuel Mosley, and Ife Melifonwu. All of them are on IR. All right? All of them didn't practice, but everybody else on this team did. What about limited practice? Everybody else on this team did. That means you heard it right. The guys that were missing from 2 weeks ago against the Seahawks, guess what? They're back at full practice. Frank Ragnow, are you kidding me? He's back to full practice with that slightly torn pec. Dude's a monster. Like, I don't want him to rush back. I want him to come back slowly because we proved against the Seahawks that we could do it. But there's a caveat to that. We were playing all backups against the Seahawks defensive line. So Iwosika played phenomenal football at left guard, but it was against backup caliber people. So all Iwosika did was prove he was a better backup than what Seattle had to offer. And Graham Glasgow proved that as a starting center, he can move around backup defensive tackles no problem. When you play against the Cowboys, you're not going to have that luxury. So I don't want Frank to rush back and hurry back. I only want him back if he's fully healthy because offensive line, the pecs are kind of important. And I want this guy healthy for the stretch run. All right. But the fact that he's already returned to full practice is insanely good. All right. Brian Branch, he was clearing concussion protocol, but then he got sick. He's returned to practice full time. And Christian Mahogany has returned and started his practice window. Be looking for updates on that. We want him to be healthy enough and good enough that he can make the 53-man roster in this window. Otherwise, I think we have to release him. So make sure you're looking at that. Ragnow, as it said, is working through that partially torn pec. We know that. This extra week over the bye really helped him. All right, what about the Cowboys? All right. Oh, not yet. We have players. Sam Laporta, fastest healing guy I've ever seen in my life. Right? Like, he couldn't walk at the end of week 3. He could barely get on and off the field. And then in week 4, he was playing like he never sprained his ankle. Like, I think it was even Jared Goff. Like, yeah, he sprained his ankle. And then the next thing I know, he's running around. It's like the healthiest I've ever seen the guy. All right. Skip is back. Aleem McNeil, who played, is feeling good. He's no longer listed with an injury. So there's no question here. Levi, Anzalone, Rakestraw, they're all completely healthy. They're not even dinged up. All right. What about the Cowboys? All right. They're going to get Tyler Guyton back. That's helpful. Deron Bland, he's still on IR. He practiced in full. This is a corner that, by the way, he didn't play great against us last year, but he's a corner that can make plays and create turnovers. So if he plays, you have to watch it a little bit. They're not sure, all right, if he's going to be able to play or not because he's still on IR. Is he going to be back in game shape? All right. Then you look at the guys who did not practice. All right. Kendricks, Bell, Parsons, Vigil, and Martin. The only one that seems to matter is right here, Micah Parsons. And here's what Mike McCarthy had to say. He was in Monday for treatment, so I'll probably have a better gauge of that Wednesday if he has a chance for Detroit. That's today, by the way. He's got some work to do. Saw him Saturday before we left. We knew this week was going to be a stretch, so we'll have a better gauge once we get to Wednesday. It's not looking like Micah Parsons is going to be out there, and it's not looking like he's going to be 100%. And I think the Cowboys realize that Micah Parsons is such a talented player that you need him long-term, and you can't get him out here. That's the thing with ankle sprains, especially high ankle sprains. You don't want to come and re-aggravate it and then be out another 3 to 6 weeks. High ankle sprains can keep you out. The general way it goes is 3 to 6 weeks. It was a high ankle sprain. So I don't know if we're going to be seeing Micah Parsons, but again, we have the Micah Parsons eliminator. His name is Penei Sewell, and anytime he lines up on that side, Penei is going to erase him. And we saw it last year. We did. So I'm confident in that, but there's no question this is a better defense when Micah Parsons is in there. And unlike the Steelers, who have such a bland offense, last week, the Detroit Lions will absolutely take advantage if the Cowboys are missing one of their most powerful weapons. And we have ours in Sam Laporta back. And you got to see what a healthy Sam Laporta does for this offense. It changes everything that we do. And Sam Laporta is healthy, and if he can stay healthy, I think you continue to see this offense absolutely take flight. All right, hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. See you on the next one.